So I really just want to get to the point of this video, and that is basically going to be me telling you why it is I'm pursuing track and I guess cross country in college. Hey, it's your boy Dre, coming at ya with another video. I hope you guys are having an awesome Tuesday. Is it? Today's Tuesday, yes. I hope you guys are having an awesome, fantastic Tuesday. If you're new to the channel, hey, I'm Dre. Hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up for me and consider subscribing. Check out some of my other content. If you're one of my D3 squad subscribers and supporters, what's good, fam? I see you. I see you. So as I said earlier, the purpose of this video is to basically give you guys my motivations, my reasons, my why behind why I'm trying to run track and cross country in college. And so basically this video is going to give you an overview of my background in track and cross country, and then of course the motivations and why I am pushing myself this summer. So for starters, as far as my background, I've been running track since like 4th or 5th grade. My dad is a track and cross country coach at the high school where he works, and so I've been around track and subsequently cross country pretty much all of my life. My parents have told me stories about how when we were younger, you know, in our toddler years, we would show up to the school for practice and then we'd be on the track running around, because as little kids you have enough energy to do that sort of thing. Well, fast forward to a couple of years later, and I believe it was my 5th grade year of elementary school, I was immediately thrust and immersed into the world of track via summer track. I didn't like my first impression. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not like track at that time. I hated track. I hated the fact that I had to give up my entire summer just about to spend in the sun, hot, sweating, working out. I didn't like it. I did not like track. I also don't think that it helped that I wasn't placed in the best events for me at that period in time, because the coach for the team that I was running with had me running the 100 and the 200 and doing the long jump. And eventually over time I actually got into the long jump and started doing it well, but the 1 and 200 is not my sport. And if you see me, you can pretty much tell I'm not a sprinter type. So anyways, I sucked it up mostly because I had to, because my parents told me, like they told my older sister, that I had to run track until I got to my freshman year of high school, and then at that point, if I just continued to hate it, I could quit. So in my mind, I thought it was quitting my freshman year. So from whenever I started, I say I started in 5th grade, but I'm thinking it was more like 3rd or 4th grade. But whenever I started running track, all the way up to about my 6th grade year, I was still running the 1 and 200. Around 6th grade, I got moved to the 800, and so from middle school, I was running the 800, and then occasionally still doing long jump. Now mind you, even though I didn't like running track, I didn't like running the 800 more than when I was running the 100 and the 200, because an 800 is so much longer. Because the 100 is a straightaway, it's a quick shot, the 200 is a curve and a straightaway. Those are really quick races. The 800 is 2 full laps. So when I got moved to that race, best believe I was hurt beyond belief. And I mean, keep in mind, I am doing piss poor in terms of competition. I'm not competing very well against, you know, competitive schools or whatever. I'm not doing very well. And then mind you, halfway through my 8th grade season, I got sick twice, and then I had some type of ankle injury. So my 8th grade season of track and field was kaput. It was basically like, oh hi, thanks for coming, bye. Because I was out for a majority of the season thanks to all these combined factors that I had no control over. So then we get to high school, specifically 9th grade. And the coach, the boys coach for our school, used to work with my dad, so I knew him and I kind of knew a bit about his coaching style. And honestly and truly, my 9th grade year of track and cross country, my 9th grade year of track and field changed my life and changed my running career forever. I came into high school as a freshman running a 3+ minute 800. I'm pretty sure that in this day and age, in this time, that's kind of absurd and unheard of, but that was me. And I don't know how, but by the grace of God and my continued blood, sweat, and tears and the excellent coaching that I received, I ended my season running 2:45. Now my freshman year, I didn't run cross country. I didn't want to. I was like, nope, not gonna happen. But at the end of my freshman year track and field, my coach told me, hey, you need to run cross country. And so I sucked it up and I was like, fine, I'm gonna run. And so from my sophomore year to my senior year, I've been running cross country in concert with running track for the school and then running summer track. So obviously my sophomore year of cross country, I was like, what is this? What's going on? I have not run this many miles before in my life. And so naturally I started off running like a 30 mile, which I guess as someone who's never run before, that's okay. But I mean, like, even for JV standards, I think that was kind of out there. But I was doing okay, I guess. Flip over to track in the fall, and I had dropped to about 230 maybe by the end of the season. 230, low 230s, high 220s, something like that by the end of the season. So I was feeling good. I was seeing something out of this whole cross country thing. So I was like, hey, why not? Let's give it a shot. And then of course on the back end, I was also doing the summer track stuff. So that was helping to supplement, and that was helping to keep me in shape like year round. So I think that also kind of was instrumental and vital in the successes that I had. My junior year, I ran cross country on the varsity level on the varsity team. However, I took a hit because ending my summer track season that year, I was having issues with my pelvis, so that had me sidelined for a couple of weeks going into the cross country season. So when I started practicing, everyone else had about 2 or 3 weeks on me. And so that entire season, I felt like crap because I always felt like I was so much further behind than where I should be and where I could be. And it basically took me the entire season to get back to my actual race pace. But I think I needed that season just to show me that, hey, no matter what happens to you in terms of injuries and things, you can come back. And maybe it'll take you a minute to get stronger and go further ahead than where you were, but you can get there. And I saw in the span of a season, I got back to my normal running time. And yeah, it sucked that I couldn't go faster, but at least I had the wherewithal and the strength, the determination to stick with it and get back to where I was. Get back to square one so I can go to 2, 3, 4, and 5. That spring, I finished my track season with a 2:25 800, I believe. And this was also the first season that I'd ever run the 400. Coach just kind of threw me in it at district with no kind of like training or anything. So I was like, oh, okay. I did okay, but you know, obviously it could have been better, and with more training and everything, I feel like I would have been, you know, competitive, but you know, that's whatever. It's not really that important. But so anyways, fast forward to the summer, going into my senior year. Running wise, it was pretty crazy. It was hectic. I was doing a whole bunch of, you know, college tours and preparing for all the stuff that's gonna happen in my senior year. So running wise, didn't do very well. Not much actually got done. Cross country wise, I was on varsity again this year. I lettered my junior year, but I was on varsity again. We had a bigger team. We've probably had the biggest team that we've ever started out with in my 3 years of running cross country that I was at Trimble Tech. We had our biggest male team ever, I believe, because we actually had enough to have like a full varsity team and then like the majority of a JV team. Like we had that many guys at the beginning of the season. And then, you know, obviously as the season went on, our numbers shrunk and dwindled, and it got to a point where we had to fight for spots on varsity. But, you know, I continued to work at it. I would get my runs in. I would run over the weekend whenever I could get extra runs in, get some extra mileage in. And I tell you, I was so close to breaking 20 minutes, maybe even hitting 19 at the end of the season. Unfortunately, I didn't get there, but I was overall really proud of my efforts this last cross-country season. So then, of course, you move from the fall to the spring and track season. And as it was my last track season for high school and my, you know, one and only year having run varsity, my goal at the end of the day was to try and get to the state meet and, you know, compete on that level. So yeah, I was really trying to bust my butt because I knew that running in 2 minutes still was not going to cut it. I needed to drastically drop and break the 2 minute plane and try and get to 150, 140 something. And I don't know why, for whatever reasons, unfortunately, the season started off much slower than I anticipated. Like, my first 2 races were like high 220s, which was really weird to me, but I eventually worked my way back down to 225, and it was weird because I kind of hit like some stagnant bumps or whatever, where like the time would just kind of sit there and it wouldn't actually make any progression. But at the end of the season, I ran a 222, which has been my fastest 800 to date. Now, I ended up going to the regional track meet as an alternate on the team's 4x4. So I trained with them, you know, leading up to that meet, but one of the runners pulled up, you know, hamstring issues or whatever during the race. And I mean, the conditions weren't necessarily the best, so I mean, that could have contributed to all of that. But I didn't, you know, go with them to the state meet as an alternate for relay because, you know, that relay was out. So I went with them as a like a moral support teammate and manager, since I was like one of 2 seniors that was on the team this year. We only had 2 seniors, and they were both distance guys. And yeah, so I just kind of went as like a teammate moral support / manager to help our coach out. I mean, going into my senior season, I had been thinking about running in terms of, you know, on the next stage, running collegiately. But it didn't really hit me, you know, ultimately what my decision was going to be until I got to the state meet and saw the competition and just saw the atmosphere and the energy from the crowd and everything. And that's when I made my decision. So now that we've talked about my background and my history of, you know, track and cross country leading up from when I was little to now, I want to talk about my motivations and why it is that I actually want to run in college. These past 4 years in high school have really showed me that I actually do enjoy running, but I actually also enjoy the aspect of competition and competing when running, and I really don't want to let go of that anytime soon. So that's one of the biggest things that I think I've learned and discovered about myself these past 4 years when I was running for my school. I want to continue to compete, and I want to continue to compete with running because that's the best sport I've ever participated in. Track and cross country are the best sports I've ever participated in, and the only sports that I've really done the best in continuously, like in sequential order, with, you know, continued time and effort and growth and everything. So this is kind of totally off topic, but the shirt that I'm wearing right now is this state meet shirt for this year. So I just kind of thought it'd be fitting to wear something to represent my my history in terms of track and cross country and everything. So I just thought that'd be cool. Why not go with something that's really recent and in a sense an accomplishment. So yeah, I love the competition aspect of running. I love the somewhat social aspect because you can really make some lifelong friendships through running. I've met some people that I don't think I would have ever met had I not decided to run on the cross country and track and field teams. And that's both in terms of in my school, but also other connections with people at other schools, sometimes in other districts or whatever. So there is a social aspect to it, but that wasn't as necessarily a big a deal for me, but I mean, it was still there. Another thing I think is that it's a great way for me to stay active, to stay in shape, and I love running anyway, so why not, you know, put that passion, put that love, and, you know, try and push myself and be even more competitive. Like I said, I'm really competitive, I hate losing, and I love running. Last night was my last ever summer track meet. Ever, okay? It was the regional track meet, and I ran the 8 and the 4. And granted, I placed second and third, second in the 8 and third in the 400. But to me, these medals, these aren't signs of victory. They're not signs of success. They're signs of failure. They're signs that I have so much more to work for and so much more work to do. I've prayed about it, and I've thought about it, and I've meditated on it, and in my heart, I know that I want to run in college. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to work for. Every day, all the time during the summer, I'm going to be out there in the heat, sweating, busting, grinding, crying, whatever I got to do to make sure that I can walk on in August. Thank you, phone. so I can walk on in August and, you know, fulfill my passion, you know, and go run for Drury. So I feel like it's cool to be able to go out and compete and represent your school athletically. And truth be told, if I ever had the chance to run professionally or run on an Olympic team, I would take that chance grab that chance by the reins, grab it by the horns, whatever. I would hop on that chance because that is an incredible opportunity and I would love to have that. So that's basically this video in a nutshell. I've basically talked about my history in terms of running and motivations for running in college. That's it. All I want to say to fellow athletes, whether you're in high school or middle school or elementary school, don't give up. If you're passionate about something, fight for it, because you will succeed if you put in the time, energy, and effort for it, okay? Something's in my eye. But fight for what you want. If you want to run in college, put in the work so you can run in college. You don't necessarily have to take the popular road where you, you know, just athletically abundant and you can just do it all and they're throwing money at you. Maybe that's not your route. Maybe your route in life will be to take the hard road less traveled and to put in all this extra work so you can walk on and impress the coach with your tenacity and your determination and the secret skills that you have hidden within you. So that's just my mini motivation piece for this video. But if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up for me. If you guys are interested in hearing more about stuff, more personal stuff to my life, let me know in the comments down below. For those of you who had dreams and aspirations and you decided to follow them, drop some encouragement for our people in the comments, whether it's athletic ambitions or academic or artistic. Let us know. I would love to get some conversations started. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing. Also, my social media links will be in the description down below. Check those out. Follow your boy. Hit me up on other medias and stuff. Like, I love interacting with you guys outside of YouTube, so definitely consider that. Website and things will be in the links as well. Other than that, I love you guys so much. Can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Got some awesome stuff coming for you guys. Trying to do a the floor is lava challenge, so we'll see how that's going. Last thing before I sign out, contest giveaway coupon codes, there are like 5 left, so if you want to snag a code, definitely enter. Contest rules will be in the description. I'm gonna give it like another day, so Wednesday, Thursday, I'm gonna cut it off, and if no one else enters, I'll just keep the coupon codes for myself. But that's it for this video. Thanks you guys so much for watching. Remember, one love, one people, one world. Alright guys, peace out. That don't kill me, can only make me stronger.